one better than my best friend.
Hey y'all.
Hi, happy
Y'all can see.
Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Wait a minute, let me make sure we on. All right, we on. Welcome to the show. Hey, y'all, we zoomed in today, so if y'all don't see anything,
Don't
y'all
talk
gonna
about
see
me.
it today. Don't talk about us. Oh, I gotta put my what's the names in?
What?
My little trays in my mouth. Welcome to the show. I am Sharice Nicole.
I'm Coco Chantel.
Hey guys, I know you guys have missed us. We have missed y'all.
We
We have been out
have.
here in these streets,
We have
honey,
been in these streets.
busy.
Yeah.
You understand? We've been busy. We've been doing a
We've
lot of
been
things. We've
busy.
been busy.
Ooh, we've been
Back to back
busy.
weekends.
Yeah,
I ain't been as
we
busy as
have.
you because you traveled.
Yeah, but you still did a bunch of stuff in town.
I did. But baby, she traveled.
I did.
We got so much to talk
We
about
do.
because we haven't seen y'all, and I had to get the laptop, y'all, and I got to put some things in my mouth. See what I'm talking about? So we was getting ready, but listen to us. We want to thank y'all for joining.
Indeed. Each and every Sunday for tuning in.
Each one
And
o'clock.
looking for us when we're not live because a
Yes.
few of you were like, "Hey, I
Where
missed
y'all
it.
at?
What? Yeah, where's
Yeah,
the
and
link
we
for me to
was
go
here,
back and
child.
watch?"
We was here, but listen to us. We had a lot going on. How your week been?
I had a good week. So I was off on Monday, of course, because the weekend was so long. So I took Monday off, and got back to work on Tuesday. Of course, hit the ground running. This week, I always say work was work, but this week I have a testimony. So one of my providers that I seem to bump heads with all the time. I seem to bump heads with all the time. We had like this really good week. She was with me 3 days this week in the clinic, and we had such a good week. So much so until Thursday afternoon. I mean, I'm home, I'm settled, and she texts me and she's like, "Thank you so much for your help this week." And yeah, I was like, "Oh, prayer works." Prayer changes things. Prayer changes things. So I felt really accomplished with
And I
that.
had the pepper. I had the pepper in my step. Yes,
I felt really accomplished with that. So it was a good week. I got my flu shot on Thursday, so I've been a little bit down. But then yeah, I have been a little weary. And then yesterday my sister had a birthday celebration for my niece who turned 6 years old on the 11th of this month. And then I had another niece who turned 21 yesterday. So happy belated birthday to both of them. And I of course spoke to them on their birthdays, so we got that out of the way. But so it was a good week. It was a good week. I was trying to rest a little bit this morning. Got some disturbing news, but God is still good. And prayers for my family. And I won't say because I don't know if everyone has been notified as of yet.
Oh
So
yes, don't say, don't say.
so so how was your week?
So my week was good. We actually have a guest, y'all. He's in the background. He's virtual, and but I had a good week. I had a good week. Let me look up because I'm doing stuff into the broadcast. I had a good week. It was even more of a good week because y'all, my daughter blessed me. Y'all know my stories with Madison, how they go. So I didn't have no troubles from her. Child, and she was praying every morning, y'all. Good,
Nice.
not the normal. Thank you for waking me up, cover me,
Go
teach me the way to
Madison.
success. Honey, she was praying good prayers. So that really blessed me this week. And it put the pep in my step. And because of last weekend, Take Flight, that prayer that we had that Friday night, it kind of activated my daughter into wanting to pray more. So very,
Good.
very, 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 very proud of that. So that was my week. Hey, Maddie.
Madison.
So yeah. How was y'all week? Put into the chat. I'm
Yes.
trying to see something.
Tell us how your week was. Was
I'm
it a
trying to
good
see
week?
something. Was it a good week? Was it not a
Was it
good
a
week?
not so good week? Were there some things you could have done differently this week? Some things you were working on this week? Tell us.
honey. We want to know because today is going down. And y'all, I'm trying to put these topics up, but we're gonna tell y'all all. We already talked about how we was going,
Yes.
and so how you can catch us outside. So of course, Sundown Sunday, y'all, we will not be there. Tell me, Bree.
Oh yes. So on fourth Sunday, this coming fourth Sunday. So not, of course, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, uh, WJCT MVP band will be at Sundown Sunday or having Sundown Sunday, but we will not be there hosting the red carpet. Um, one of us will be traveling, like I was the week before. So one of us will be traveling, so we will not be doing Sundown Sundays for that particular Sunday, but we will return the second Sunday in November. Okay, so it's just this one
Just this one
for now.
for
It's
now.
just this one because the holidays are coming up, so we'll have to see.
Yeah. And
We'll
y'all
have to
let
see.
us know if y'all want the BTA the red carpet to be Christmas and festive. We can
Yes,
add some
we can.
Christmas decorations.
We
That's what y'all
can.
would like to
We
see.
we
Let us
can.
know. But in the meantime, guess what, y'all? I
In
got
between
everything in there.
time,
So we talked about how you can catch us. I said, oh, and we have an event coming up December
December
2nd.
2nd.
I don't have the flyer yet, but once we get the flyer, we'll post it. We will be doing a red carpet there. It is a charity event for a young lady. So as soon as we get it, we don't want to release the details and
Yes.
they're wrong, but as soon as we get that flyer, we'll start clubbing that so you guys can be a part of that charity event. Go out, donate, do your
Yeah.
thing. But without further ado, we want to bring onto this red carpet here. Let me see if I do it this way. I'm gonna try it
She's
two
talking about
different
onto the
ways.
red
I mean, not the
carpet.
red carpet. Oh God, onto the screen here. Oh no, you can't see us if I do it that way. So I'm gonna have to do it this way, and then boom. Now y'all can see us, and then I have to take him off the mute, y'all. Okay, Chef, you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Can you
Yes.
hear us?
I can.
Do both of us sound clear?
Yes. Are we clear?
We do. You do.
Okay.
Oh, I love
Wonderful.
your background. I'm noticing. What's happening back there?
What? This background?
Oh, yes, child. The sun is out.
It
We're
is.
out the
It's a nice
window.
background.
Yeah. I was
That's
like
nice.
natural light. Give y'all some
That's,
natural light on
yeah, give us
Sunday.
some
Yes.
It's
natural light.
Yes.
sunny.
Yes. Yes. We appreciate
It's
that.
not hot. It's cool outside. It's a perfect day to be outside.
Absolutely. And y'all, this is Chef Jeff Johnson.
Johnson.
I'm going to put his social media handles up in 1 second, but we're also going to allow him to introduce himself. Chef, what's up?
Yeah. Tell the people who you are, what you
Hello,
do.
I'm Chef. Okay. Hello, I'm Chef Jeff. I am the owner and executive chef of 3J's Catering. We're getting ready to celebrate 4 years that we've been in existence, but I've been cooking since I was 9.
Mm.
Launched the business once I moved back to the States during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Decided I wanted to continue doing something on the side, and we've just continued to grow and to blossom into me doing this full time because I was still working my part time job while I was doing this, and we've just seen exponential
Oh.
growth um, um, over the last 4 years that we've been in existence. So definitely blessed and honored to for everybody that has booked me or had me at your event, so allowed me to
Yes.
come in and feed you or gotten in line. Like I appreciate it because you're a part of that growth and development.
We love to see it.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
what do we have
do.
from him?
Um.
Finish up on me.
Oh my
I
goodness.
think
What do we eat when you
you had the
cook?
fish.
I did.
You had the
Ooh,
Okay,
fish.
what
I
that
didn't
fish?
have the fish.
You
I
didn't have
didn't I
fish?
didn't have the fish. I had something else.
Oh, that fish was so good, Chef.
Oh
I'm
man.
What
trying to
was it?
remember what I
Was it
cooked for you.
jambalaya?
It was jambalaya.
I think it was the
Jambalaya.
jambalaya, the
Oh,
chicken
yeah.
jambalaya,
It
Oh,
was
my
the
God.
and one of
jambalaya.
y'all had the fish.
And one of
Uh-huh,
us had the
uh-huh,
fish.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
I think I had the fish.
And I had the
And
jambalaya.
Chantel had the
And
jambalaya.
then you had some people come in your stead another time.
Yes,
And I had oxtail stew.
yes, the
Oh,
short rib
some
and
There you
oxtail
juicy.
go.
stew. Yes. Did you have any seafood, Mac?
I
I did.
I
Yes,
did
we
not.
had the seafood mac. I had the seafood mac. That's all I got. That's all I got that day
Okay.
was the seafood mac. It was so, but we did have seafood mac before.
We had it before,
Yeah, we had it before.
for the birthday bash.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, we
Because
had it
when we
then.
left from now, let me tell you.
We were sitting in the car.
We sat in the car and
We
ate.
sat
Y'all,
in the
this
car.
man seafood mac and cheese is
It
so
was
good.
so good.
Me and Chantel sat in the car. We maybe about 5 to 10 minutes before we pulled off,
Just so we could eat.
just so we can eat the seafood mac. It is
It
absolutely
was great.
amazing. So
Thank y'all
chef,
so much.
tell
You're
how
welcome.
where does your inspiration? You're welcome. Where does your inspiration for cooking? Where did it come from?
So, I grew up seeing both of my grandmothers. Like, I don't know if how you guys grew up, but you go to Sunday, you go to
Mhm.
church on Sunday,
Mhm.
Mhm.
you at church,
Mhm.
devotion, Sunday school.
Mhm.
All, it's not like
Talk.
it is now. Children go to school and they go to children's church. No, you went to devotion and you went to Sunday school and you
Mhm.
went to the service and
Mhm.
you better not act up because your grandma gonna come out the
Yeah.
choir
Oh
stand
God.
and tear you up.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
so seeing growing up in that experience, especially during the '90s. Then after church, we were the house between both my grandmothers, my grandma on my maternal and my father's side.
Mhm.
Um, they both would host a lot of people during after church on Sundays because both of them
Nice.
could cook. And so I grew up used to having big Sunday dinners, and then we would have times we go out to Quincy's and Ryan's and the buffets and that different thing.
The
But a
best.
lot
And
of
did.
times
And
yeah,
famous Amos.
a lot of times those were few far and in between, and usually special occasions. So, but most of the time we had people over for the holidays, had people over after church. And so, for me, cooking brings people together a lot of times, and this is one of the staples with my company. When you think about some of the most important events and different things that have happened in your life, whether it's a wedding, whether it's a birthday party, homegoing celebration, you a lot of times will reference food. You remember that place you
Mhm.
had those meatballs, you remember the place
Yes.
that had the crab cakes, or the place that had this. So for me, it's always about creating memorable experiences, for people, when I'm providing food and service.
So, at what moment did you know you wanted to be a chef? I know that you learned how to cook and all of that, but at what moment in time you were like in your head, okay, this is what I'm going to do? Because some people are great at cooking. Sharice's a great cook, but she doesn't want to be a chef. So, what was your moment?
So my moment, I believe it or not, I was actually in banking and finance for 16 years, and I recently left in March to do this full time.
Okay.
And like I told you, when I just like a hobby, like just like cooking for people, people enjoyed my food, and I just said I'll just do something on the side, to keep me busy, make a little side money,
Right.
another stream of income, and I started seeing how blessed people would be with what I was able to produce, and seeing like just weddings, seeing like being booked for different things and just seeing, and it just started making me realize how unfulfilled I was in my role. Even though I won't lie, I was getting good salary. I just wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled. And so I started realizing how much pleasure I would get from doing what I do, the sacrifices, the late nights, prepping, all of that stuff. And it was around February. My grandmother, whose picture is here, she passed in February,
Mm.
and I had took some time off from work, and I just kind of had a moment where I was just kind of like praying and like thinking about what's next. And I said, I was talking to God, and it was like, I don't want to die. I want to die empty.
Yeah.
I don't want to die wishing I would have, or what could have happened, or what would I have done if I did this or did that. And I don't want to work this job anymore. Like, I want to do something that makes me
Listen
happy.
to me.
I'm
That'll
for
do
real.
Oh
it. That
Lord.
will do
Listen,
it.
I said I want to do something that makes me happy, and over the last 3 years I've been building, and it's one of those moments where, do you trust what God has given you, or don't you? And so for
Man.
me, I took the step and said, if these people
Mm.
willing to pay me, one of those Master P moments, X amount of dollars to do whatever, I must have enough skill set in me to be able to pull in more than that. It might be a struggle at first, but we're gonna build and we're gonna work this thing. And that's the
That's
determination that I came up with. And when I realized like this is what I want to do.
that's
And you just
excellent.
kind of sold out to it.
Yeah, definitely sold out, turning my resume.
Out of there.
Come on,
And I
I
just
quit.
said,
I quit.
I say this like literally. I turned in my resignation. I didn't have really anything on the books. like but a few gigs. Like I was just like, okay, we're gonna see how this work. I got my savings account. I,
Hmm.
a week, I want to say it was week later, I got my first contract with the city.
Oh, come on,
Where you at
city.
the city?
Yeah, and I did the VIP lounge for River Jams, you know, and then
Nice.
things just continued to flow after that. So I tell people like, if whatever you've been skilled to do,
I don't see no
get with
contract.
somebody that's even more
What is
skilled,
going
because
on?
iron sharpen iron.
Yes.
There's things that I know that I'm great at. There's things that I don't know. I always hit up my peers and I look at their pages. I look at what they're doing. I learn from them. I glean from them. I don't know everything, you know, and I work my craft because you can't expect opportunity to come and you not be prepared for it. You have to be prepared and put in the groundwork in order to be prepared. So when the opportunity comes, it's not I'm scrounging around trying to figure out how to do. I'm already ready to walk into that door. And a
Yeah.
lot of times we asking God and the universe or whatever you do for
No, it's
opportunity,
God
but
over here.
we haven't even built the foundation. The foundation isn't laid. You haven't even started planning out. You don't like get professional, get your invoices, learn. There's so many tools and resources, free apps to be able to do stuff to make your stuff
Yeah.
look professional. You gotta fake it until you make it. I did at
Mm.
first. I ain't gonna lie, I was cooking out of my house. Now I cook out of a commercial kitchen, but I didn't. There was things that I didn't know, but I was willing to do the work to find out to get to this place. It's not going to be easy. Everybody's road path is different towards whatever it is
Yes.
that you're wanting to do, but you got to be willing to put in the work.
That's so good.
That's great.
Man, that's so good. So, again, if you're inspiring to be a chef, if you aspire to
Yeah.
be a chef, hear what he's saying. Put the work in. Do you think consistency played a major role in where you are right now?
Absolutely, absolutely consistency. I can't think about it this way: when you go to a restaurant and they're known
Mm-hmm.
for something, you go there to get that particular
Gotta
thing,
go
and
over
when
Correct.
there
it's
and get it.
not right.
You gotta go on over
How
there.
many times do you get upset? Like if you go there for the mac and cheese, or you go there
And
for the
it's not right.
oxtails, or you go
Who in
there,
the
Yeah.
kitchen?
you know,
Mm-hmm.
right? And even not even just that, but I know you guys are beautiful, and I don't know if you do your own makeup, but if you go to a makeup artist and you
Oh,
expect
thank
that the
you.
makeup and your hair to be a certain way,
Yes.
and every time you go, you got now tracks showing different things happening. Like you're not gonna want to go to them
Yes.
because consistency is key. If I'm spending my money with you, which I don't have to do, that's one of the things like as an entrepreneur you have to always realize people do not have to buy from you. There are a
Correct.
lot of other options. It is a privilege. So the best thing that I can offer you is a consistent product and a consistent experience. And sometimes you may fall short. Accept that. Take responsibility. Apologize. Do what you need to do to make it right. Every event hasn't always gone perfectly, but you learn from those and figure out how you can be even better.
Mm. I
That's
think a lot
excellent.
of people don't learn from their mistakes. Can't they? Can't they? Can't they? Couldn't have. Okay, I'm holding my head. I had to put the question of the day in. Chef, they couldn't have because they've been making the same mistakes, and their reputation exceed proceeds them. You understand what I'm saying? That is it
Hmm.
proceed or proceed? Proceed.
Proceeds.
Proceed them.
Mhm.
Their reputation precedes them for having this type of behavior and or characteristic, and then you hire them, and that's there. It's prevalent. You understand? So a lot of people, I
Hmm.
don't know that they actually have learned from those mistakes, but I think that's very key and keen
Indeed.
in business. And again, I'm going to have you tell people how they can contact you. I want you to tell them, give them a phone number of some sort. My head is going to be down because I'm
Okay.
going to be typing it. So when you finish, I can
Post it. Put
I
it
can
up
post it,
so
put
they
it
can
up
see
so
it.
people can see it.
Okay.
Hmm.
So business phone number is 904-944-3577. Again, for those writing it down, 904-944-3577. You can follow me on Instagram. I have two different ones. My personal page is at Chef Jeff to you. That's at Chef Jeff to you. Simple as that. And then my business page is at the number 3JS underscore catering, the at sign 3JS underscore catering, or you can go to 3jscatering.com, and that's the leading with the number three. And that will take you also to all of my social media pages.
Everything has been
Wonderful.
put. Quick fast.
Quick,
Wonderful.
Now
fast, and in a
that
hurry.
is that is his Instagram. That is not his Facebook. That's your Instagram, correct, Chef?
Correct, but it'll also find my Facebook page if you put it on Facebook too. So
Those are his handles. Please call him.
Please call
You will
him.
not be disappointed.
You won't. We eat good every single time.
Every time this man cooks,
Every
we eat good.
time.
Do you understand? Okay? I'm just trying to
I
tell you,
appreciate that.
don't cheat yourself. Do you understand?
I definitely
All right.
agree. So Chef, I do have one more question for you.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of times people start businesses and nonprofits and things of that nature, and they are afraid, right? Can you tell us a time that you got a contract and you were afraid? Everything worked out, but you were afraid. Can you speak to that?
Oh, absolutely. August. I got a call about doing a plated dinner for a foundation event, and it was 250 people. And if you guys know anything about plated events, one thing can send everything into catastrophe very
Yes.
quickly. From service to food, you name it. And it's basically what a lot of people don't understand about plated events is it's all, especially when it's a large amount of people, it's pretty much you're running a restaurant because you're plating the food and running it out, and it needs to be hot because nobody wants
Yes.
cold food,
Yes, yes,
and
yes,
the
yes,
plates
yes.
need to yeah and the plates need to look consistent. So I did tour. It was at WJCT,
Okay.
250-person plated dinner. It included past hors d'oeuvres, 5 different hors d'oeuvres, dessert, dual plated meal option, as well as
Mm-hmm.
salad and bread, tea and water. And so when I first got the call, I was like, "Who? Okay, can I do this?" Because when you think about, like, kudos to Chef Kenny Gilbert. I don't know if you guys
Indeed.
know who he is, but he had did the event before for Oprah. So I'm like, the bar is already
Oh,
set
I
for
don't
what
know none of that.
for what they're looking to get. And I'm like, they to find out a quote. And so, like, I was just kind of in my head like, can I do this? And with all things, I'm like, yeah, we can do this. I already have the plates, I already have this, I already have that. It's just
Mm-hmm.
planning and logistics. And that's what I did. We planned it out. I pulled in some other chefs that I've worked with and have a relationship with. They came in, pulled in as a team. We got it done flawlessly. Everybody was served in 40 minutes. Everybody's food was hot. The reviews that people gave, and I'm still getting bookings from that event from people that were there, but I did it afraid. Sometimes it's working through it, taking the time to plan out logistics. Again, you 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 cannot be stagnated by fear because you'll never produce. If you always stay stagnated by fear, you'll never produce and you'll always be where you are. You always have to be willing to push those boundaries and trust yourself. Trust your judgment. Like, every event that I've done has taken me to another level or plateau, or push myself. And you have to do that too. Like, push yourself. So there's things that I sometimes do for clients they didn't ask me to do, but it pushes me.
Mm-hmm.
It pushes me, so that way I know, like, okay, I can do this. I can offer this. This is something else. Like, you have to be willing to challenge yourself, not just allow people to challenge you. Like, so that your boundaries are pushed. Like, I don't stay in just soul food. I do all types of things. Italian. I make pasta. Even when I'm at home, I'm making and creating stuff. Like, okay, I want to do this dish. I want to do it differently and present it. See how it tastes. Let my family taste it. It's You got family members and different people and friends that you can bounce ideas. If whatever it is that you're trying to do, find a way to do it. Like, and it doesn't have to be, if you're a chef, even if you want to create postcards or flyers, find somebody that you can be like, hey, you looking to market something, let me just offer this for you for free. You have to be able to
Yes.
pay your
Yes.
I'm trying to tell people, you have to be willing to pay your dues. Where I am now, and some of the gigs and stuff, I wasn't making that money then.
Yes.
Not that I'm making a whole bunch of money now. I don't want nobody to hit me up.
Yeah, I understand. I don't care. I
However,
understand.
when I started at Rain Dogs doing a brunch, I was leaving with maybe $25 in my pocket after everything, but it was seeds that I was sowing.
There you
I
go.
was passing by there a week ago, and I was just thinking about it. I was like, dang, I was doing that brunch 3 years ago, and I had no idea I'd be at this place. I wanted to be a CEO of a bank and work my way up. I
Mm.
wasn't thinking about being. I didn't know I'd be the CEO of 3J's Catering and own my own business.
Yeah.
But again, God's plan is greater than our own, and so it's just one of those things. Like, just work it, just do what you got to do. Like, everything is not going to be perfect. There's going to be some lessons that you have to learn. That's a part of the process. If you knew you would get to the place that you're at now, you would not. The experience would be different. Do you get what I'm saying? The appreciation, the gratitude would be different than where when you get to the place and you can look back and be like, dang, there's times that I didn't know I'll make it. There's times that I didn't know that I'll be at this place to do a 250-person event.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
sorry, I don't want to ramble.
No, no, no.
That's
That's
okay.
good. You're speaking to, someone who was watching now or may watch later, and they get to hear that it was not just you alone. There was, like Sharice mentioned, there was collaboration. There was your willingness to be a student, to ask for, assistance where you didn't know, to believe in yourself, to trust God. There were so many things that you gave, that are nuggets, not just for people who desire to be chefs, but in any area of someone's they can work these principles, and it
And
worked.
it worked for them. I think the collaboration piece was the part that blew my mind.
Yeah,
Yeah, that you were willing to bring other people in.
Yeah, because some
Yeah,
people
I
something
mean,
that
they'll
worked
you
for
they'll
you
you.
be
have
too
to.
prideful. They'll be too prideful and say, "This is I want
Correct, and
all
there
women." Yeah.
and there's people that there's other chefs that I've even just said, hey, can I you need help? I want to
Mm.
see what you do. Like, do you need help? I didn't ask for a paycheck. I didn't ask for anything. I just wanted to learn. And I think that's the thing that people get. We become so focused on money. If your focus on is money, you're gonna get burnt out. You're gonna be tired. You're gonna be frustrated. Your passion has to be in that what you're doing
Yeah.
and what you've been skilled to do. Because the money, I'm a firm believer that the money will come when you allow yourself to focus on the mission and what you're really supposed to be doing, and not focus on, oh, I'm just, I'm trying to get my bag. I'm trying to get my bag, because the bag gonna take a while. The bag sometimes ain't tomorrow.
Oh, this
Sometimes it's
bag is
in the life of an
baby.
entrepreneur. I saw a post the other day,
Carry.
and it's so true. You have $2 billion today and $1 tomorrow. It happens because
That's
you
good.
are your own boss. You're responsible for paying people. You're responsible
Yes.
for if stuff break down. You got to replace stuff.
Oh, it's
You're
so
all
good.
of that. It falls on you, and so sometimes it's an ebb and flow. Where the season is great, and you like, okay, I'm booked and busy, and then the next time it's like,
Honey, you sitting there
when
waiting,
my
honey.
phone gonna
Book me.
ring?
So like, let me look at
I
let
haven't
me look
gotten a
at my
web
email.
request. You know,
Yes.
none of that. So it's an ebb and flow. And you go, but I'm serious. You go
Ain't
through
got a
those
web request.
seasons.
Right.
Yeah, like you go through those seasons and you have to know that this is what you're supposed to be doing, because if you rely just strictly on money and popularity,
Ooh,
I'm
you'll be in
sorry to
trouble.
tell you, like
You're gonna be in
I'm
trouble.
sorry to tell you.
you're gonna be in trouble.
Cause people fickle. People like what you do one day and don't like what you do the next. But something you said. I was watching R&B Money podcast yesterday, and
Hmm.
they had Carrie Hilson. My name is Carrie.
Oh, I
I'm
gotta go
so
watch that then
scary.
because I
You
love
gotta
her.
watch it. You gotta watch it. And she was talking about how they were talking about how sometimes in industry it's like it's slow,
Hmm.
Hmm.
like it's super slow, and you have to prepare yourself for those slow moments
Hmm.
financially.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, financially. So I thought to hear you
Yeah,
say that, yeah, I'm like, when the calls are not coming in, when there are no web requests, you understand? Like, you have to also be smart financially with your money when everything is popping, when there's an
you
overflow.
right,
You understand?
Yeah.
right. And not just that, but also being creative, because
Mm.
you can't, sometimes you have to go out and get business when business isn't coming to get you. And so you have
Yeah.
to find ways to do different things.
You better preach.
That's why it's important as an entrepreneur to build relationships. You have to build relationships, because I can't tell you the number of people that I've gotten last minute. I had, like, this past weekend, I didn't have any gigs on the books, and somebody called me and was like, "Hey, we got an event. The person backed out. Can you pop up and to be a food tin vendor?" Hey, y'all team, y'all available? Anybody can hop on and do something? Okay, cool. We're gonna pull out these fries and this hibachi grill, and we're gonna go to work
Yeah.
and bring in some money. Like, you have to be creative and find ways to create opportunity when
Mm.
opportunity isn't even there. That's a part of the process, of building those relationships. So people are like, hey, I have an event, and I can't afford to feed the people, but however, I want to bring you in to feed the people, and you just charge whatever you want to
And you
charge,
charge what you want.
because
Yeah.
I
That's
know the food is
good.
going to be good.
Good.
Those are the type of things that help to further your brand, because then you may meet a new customer that, hey, they may work for a large corporation that's like, oh, we
Yes.
need you to cater because
Yes.
they had your food. Like, you never know. I can't tell you the number of times that I did one thing that begot something else, that begot something else,
But
that
God,
turned into something else. And that's why, like, going back to your point you was talking about earlier, consistency. You got to be
yes.
consistent, because you never know who you're going to come across. And that day that you may be half stepping or half slipping may be the day that that
That
opportunity passed by you. And
opportunity
sometimes you
passed
don't
you
even
right
know.
by. Ooh, child.
Sorry.
That's
That's
okay.
good. No,
You
this
know,
is
this
great.
is great, and
This is
people need to
great.
hear this. And you know what? This segue us into our
Question of the
drum
day.
roll. Drum roll. Question of the day. All right, it's up. How has
Social media affected
affected
your
your
current
current mindset
mindset
and
and or
or
your
your business?
business?
Now, y'all read that as you should. I'm gonna correct it right now. Okay, hold the line. This is a good thing about being able to correct some things. Mm-hmm. Because y'all need us alive, baby. Okay, boom.
How has social media affected
Affected your
your
current
current
mindset
mindset
and
and or
or
your
your business.
business?
Who wanna go first?
I oh
Oh,
wait,
you
you was
want
about
me
to
to?
say something,
Okay.
Chef?
Oh, go ahead. No, I
Um,
was going to say, go ahead. I'm
yep. No, no,
sorry.
no, no,
Go
Chef.
ahead,
You
Chef.
got it. You
You
got
got
it.
it.
You
You
got
got
it.
it.
You got it. You've been talking good anyway.
I think social media, like, it plays a big part in whatever we do. I know you guys definitely know this from, having your I don't want to call it a
Podcast.
podcast, but
Yeah,
like,
podcast, TV show,
Yeah.
podcast,
What?
have your
TV show.
podcast, like, yeah, TV show. There we go. Marketing is a part of all of it. So, and a lot of marketing is done through social media. So I've had to shift gears, because though I know I work with a lot of people and I probably seem very, very extroverted, I've become introverted as I've gotten older. And I'm like, I don't want to be posting all the time. But with business, you have to, at least one post a day. If I would not think, now they've said three posts a day to try and stay relevant or whatever the case may be. But um, I've had to shift gears and make sure that I'm taking photos and make sure that I'm documenting events and putting it out there, so that way people are aware that you're doing something all the
True.
time. It is, yeah. Even when you're not doing something, like posting old stuff that you didn't post, and rewatching content to just stay relevant. So it's just kind of having that mindset to be able to gear, because this new generation is very TikTok enthused, and it's how many influences and followers do you have at your
Yeah.
Yes.
disposal, or
Yes,
beck and
what
Yep.
call
have
to be
you?
able to put something out. And so all of those things matter. So it's a big shift towards, marketing that way, which is good, because a lot of it is free versus, TV ads and different things
Right,
that
Right.
were
right.
very expensive. It can be very lucrative, because you can go viral for putting cereal in the toaster, some craziness, and then you got a whole bunch of followers all over. I'm serious. I mean, you
You
see
can put
it.
the cereal
Listen,
in
the
the
people.
toaster and make cereal toast, and you finna have 2 million followers in one day.
It's
Correct.
so dumb.
It happens all the time. Like, I see some of this stuff and I'm like,
So that's
Okay,
all they did.
that's all they had to do.
So that's all they had to do. Okay, very good, very good. And that is so true.
Very much so.
I went on Forbes this morning. I was like, I don't know. I'm always trying to stay kind of current. So I wanted to know who were the top producers in social media. And guys, we'll talk about it. We'll dive into it because that's one of the topics.
Hmm.
But I find it quite interesting the amount of money that influencers or people on social media make for influencing your mindset. It's amazing. It's crazy.
Man.
But that was a good answer, Shell. Shout out to you. What's
Indeed. I would say social media affected me so much so I was to one of those people that rolled over like in the morning, right? And before I would even say a prayer, I would grab my phone and get on social media, right? So it affected my day to day, right? So when our phones would have those glitches where we couldn't get on social media, like we couldn't see anything, nothing was working. I'm like, y'all better fix this. Like, so like there right. So there was like this hold that social media had on me, and there was not until I started to fast from it. I'm actually fasting from it now, but I started to fast from it so much so until I was like, I would not, I actually replaced, I didn't delete them. I didn't delete the apps, but where the app used to be, I put the Bible app. So every time I wanted to go to social media, I would flip over to there. I would have to read the Bible. And that was how I trained my mind to, okay, you gotta back up. Like you gotta let it go. You can't, on here, I'm posting everything that I do. I'm looking at what somebody else is doing. Sometimes it's real, sometimes it's fake news. You know what I'm saying? Like we're looking, we're
Mm-hmm.
gleaming, at people and from people, and like all of these things that we're starting to put into place because of social media. And then at that moment, I understood the hold that it had on me. So if it affected me in a negative way because I was not as productive. But then when I
Mm.
understood that social media is for my business and for sharing what I would like to share, right? Because you don't know anything about me based on what I post on social media.
Nothing.
Except for what I want you to know. And that is how I live my life. So I no longer live my life through my phone. And that was what I had to learn. You see people that go to concerts and the whole time they have their cell phone up. I am not one of those people. I'm not one of those people. Yeah. I am in it. I'm literally in the moment. So much so until there were a few trips that Sharice and I went on, and none, no pictures, no videos, because we're having a great time. And I was like, now I have to stop what I'm doing, take this phone out. Now we have to do it now because of what we do. But there was a time I was like, put the phone in your bag, go. No, none of that. So social media, it helped me, and then it distracted me, and now it's back to helping me.
That's good. Same thing. Social media also, I'll add to that. It showed me it motivated me to step up. I saw people, and I'm not judging. I don't think I'm better than anybody. I just saw other people's content, and I was like, for real? Like it challenged what I had inside of me. Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, you post this, and you have 100,000 plus followers, and what's the difference between you and I? And my content could be equally as appealing to my targeted audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like now social media is a way for us to find our targeted audience in terms of people you are to impact in this world. Before you were limited, right, to people in your circle, your resources.
Mm-hmm.
What your resources determine where you could go and what kind of exposure you can have. Now, social media can, like you said, I can make cereal toast. and impact 2 million people just that fast.
Yes.
And so, like Chantel said, social media was a crutch at one time for me, but it also affected me because I've never been a person that liked to have my phone in my hand. My friends know that my phone will always get lost or missing because I just never tied my phone to me. So one of my friends will always say, Sharice, you will be the last person I call if anything happens to me because where is your phone? And my phone always stays dead. You understand?
Oh my God.
The only time I have a full charge on my phone is
Oh
if
my
we have an event or Sunday morning. Okay, because I know these phones are used for streaming.
days without charging her phone.
Days without
Days.
charging my phone. Chantel bought me an Apple Watch for Christmas. Or what was it? Christmas?
That's Christmas.
For Christmas. And because I have to, and she knew it. She knew it. She knew it because I have to charge it every day. I do not wear that watch because it'll be on me. Shut up, days. You understand? Nothing.
It's aesthetics.
Because I don't know what it is. And to me, 15, 20% on the phone, that's a good charge.
That's a good charge. That's what
That'll
you say.
last me. I mean, that's
That's
a
a
good
good
charge.
charge.
That'll last me because I don't use my phone like that. So social media is forcing me
Charge her
to
phone.
charge my phone because I have to use it to post content
Lord
and I have to
Jesus.
use it because people, we have a audience that loves our content. They
Yes.
love what we do. They support us. Shout out to everybody that
Yes.
tunes in consistently. We knew the views would be low today because the game is on. Shout out to the Jazz. We hope y'all win. Go Jazz! Go! But we love our was live viewers.
Yes.
You understand? They always go back and they watch, so we appreciate y'all. So, question of the day: if you would like to answer that,
Please.
hey y'all. Oh, hey, Bobo.
Hey, Bobo.
Y'all make sure y'all go back and y'all watch the live. Now, we're gonna jump into these topics because our topics are fire. Okay, fire.
Drop some fire in the chat.
Drop some fire in the chat. Let's see what happened. Oh, so we talked about how you got yourself outside.
Yes.
We did the question of the day. Of course, we'll do the BTA favorites at the end. Okay, because we don't want to waste any more time. We want to jump into God loves sex.
And
we
social
already talked
media,
about social
Lord.
media. So, child, we're going to jump into God because I got a question. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to start off with God because we're going to try to keep it classy, okay?
Please.
How do you guys believe that people stop believing in God or has decreased believing in God because of COVID? Or do you think that increased people's ability to believe in God?
I think it may have balanced itself out. Those who suffered from COVID and lived now believe there is a God.
Mm.
Those who suffered and transitioned or loved ones transitioned believe that God could never let that happen. So if he existed, this would not be happening. So I think it may have leveled out. We got some new believers and then some hopped off the ship.
Mm. Chef, what you think?
I'm gonna look at it from a different perspective. I think
Oh,
we COVID, I feel like undid a lot of tradition. And when I say
ooh,
you had people that went to church out of tradition, you had people who did things out of routine and not necessarily ever being connected with that which they were doing or going or being a part of. And so it's kind of like going through the motions. It's just like breathing. You do it without thinking
without
about it because
thinking.
that's your natural reaction. And so for a lot of people that were involved in churches and in ministries and doing different things, and they just literally were almost, just going with the flow. They weren't really ever really connected. And so what COVID did is it kind of pulled the cover off of a lot of those people,
Ooh,
and they got complacent in just not going, not doing, because they really didn't know why they were doing it in the first place, except for this is the way that I was raised, so this was what I was taught to do. And so now we are on the backside of it where you have people who have true beliefs and foundations in whatever their religion is, whether it's Christianity or whatnot. And you have people who now don't know what they believe, and they're kind
Mm-hmm.
of searching because they like it's a
They look
difference
at the
like when you know
universe.
God for your say that again.
They look
What
to
you
the universe.
said? Yeah. It's a
Hmm.
difference when you know God for yourself and
Yes.
when you know God through someone. And once you become an
Yeah.
adult, that God through someone kind of changes because now you have the ability to do and go as you please and you experience life for
That's
yourself.
good.
And so if you have never really experienced God or know God in an intimate way, that God can become different things based on your experience because you don't have a
True.
true foundation of
Ooh, I seen it with
understanding
my
who
own
he
eyes.
is to you. Yeah. And so I even say that for myself. Like I knew God growing up through I knew the God of my mom. I knew the
Ooh,
God of my grandmothers.
say it all the
I knew
time.
the God of them, but it wasn't until I went away to school and college and had to go
Had to
through
get it
some
for
things for
yourself. Get it
myself
from the
that
mud.
yeah, that I realized who God is to me. I grew up singing on the praise team. I grew up going to church conferences. I grew up doing all these different things, and I had to build a relationship for myself to understand who He is. And so now you have a lot of people who unfortunately didn't have that experience, and they're trying to find their way, and so they gravitate to different things
To the
that they feel
universe.
like speak to. And so I don't know if there's a solution. I
The
think if
universe
there's
is their
anything,
solution. I
the
just told you
universe
what
is,
the
but
universe is their solution.
I don't want to go off topic, but this is what I'm gonna have to. This is what I'm gonna say. Church is going to have to change, and it cannot be what it was. And
I agree.
you
Mm.
are going to have leaders who understand that they're going to have to shift the way in which they I believe they preach the gospel, they teach the gospel. They're going to have to shift and realize, and it's not just finding gimmicks and marketing, but getting back to really being able to educate people and help people understand who God truly is versus all of these gimmick and games and emotional experiences,
Yeah.
because those only last as far as the service, and once you leave and life
They
hits you
last as far as
and
Ooh,
COVID.
and COVID hits and different things, that emotional experience was just that. We
That's
have to
so
find a
that
good.
way
is
to really be able to get people to
so
be rooted
good.
and
Mm.
grounded in the word and understand what the word is, so that way they want to be connected. Because when you come in a true encounter with God and with Jesus, you can't be the same. And what we have built is emotional experiences, and that's why it's just like a fix and a high. You get it, and then it's gone, and you go back to what you were doing before until you need a fix again. And we've turned Jesus and church into an emotional roller coaster high that I
Mm.
hit it and quit it when I need it, like depending on how I need. And then there's some people that's just addicted every day. They don't really have a relationship with God. It's just that they ride that emotional wave of an emotional experience, but that's why their ways don't change. That's why they're still the
Mm.
same, and you don't see any fruit being displayed. I'm sorry, I don't want to preach on here,
No,
but
preach.
it's
Gotcha.
That's
because
good.
they come for the emotional experience, and then their heart hasn't really been changed, so they don't love the way. I'm always a proponent, like God, like one of the greatest commandments is to love, and a lot of
Hmm.
times we were out here trying to do everything else but love people. It's not my responsibility to change you. It's not my responsibility to manipulate you to get you to do what I want to do. It's my responsibility to love you. And through loving you, that's the light that's going to lead you to Christ.
Yeah.
Not me doing all this other extra stuff that we doing out here in these streets. It's loving people, getting out there and loving people. How do we do that? We give food, we do different things, to
Yeah.
to help build. How can I help you build and be a better human? And that is Christ like. That's what Jesus did. He showed up on the scene. He went to the synagogues and preached, don't get me wrong, but he was in the streets
He was on the
talking to
street.
people, picking up people. You don't pick up people. He was picking up fishermen off the fish creek.
Right.
Hmm. Prostitutes.
He was out in the streets. So we have to change the way that we do church. Like we're so
Yeah.
concentrated on these four walls in this building, and when reality is the people need to be reached out where they are. Like
Yeah.
find a way to get out of that building, because that's
Mm.
not what's going to draw people. It's the light that's inside of you, and them being able to see that and feel that and encounter that. And I'm sorry, I'm a digress.
No, this is
I'll keep
good.
I
going.
mean, but,
This
but
is
but
good.
that's
Yeah.
so true. And I think mean, you said it best. I mean, you summed it up. That was a perfect answer. And
Perfect.
I guess my question is, I've shouted it like 4 times. Why do you believe people? Why do we believe people have chosen the universe over God, or to practice go to have a tarot reading versus going to the Lord? Why do you think that that has become
I
so
think it's
popular
their
now?
mind. It's their mindset. It is. I can fathom this, right? You say the universe, and when people talk about the universe, there is some type of control that they still have as it relates to the universe,
Mm,
right? So these rocks and these crystals, and they believe if they do this, the universe will respond. When we think about God, we have no control. We can only believe with our mind. We can confess with our hearts, but there is no control. You can't make God do nothing
nothing.
that is not His will. You can't make Him do nothing. So if I'm a person that needs to be in control of my life, the easier choice is the universe, because I can grab up these crystals, I can light me some candles, some incense, some this, some that, and I can put it all together,
With the
right? And it's
chakras.
gonna respond the
Mhm.
way I need it to respond. But if it's not God's will, you can do all of that, and He's gonna be still.
You can be
So I
still.
think it's people's mindset.
I would say, before I let you go, Chef, is that people don't have the patience to wait, and people are not accountable. I think we have, because people do not want to be accountable to their actions. And in church, we were taught it's either God or the devil, never us, right?
True.
It's either God is the problem or the devil is doing it.
That's
Never
good.
you are the
That's
problem.
good.
And because of the lack of accountability, people have then said, okay, the universe allows me to
Mm-hmm.
manifest. And because of that, um, I'm going to switch over to the universe. And also because I don't want to do the work to become the person that I need to become in order to get the blessing that I'm asking God to give me. Therefore, I can go over to the universe and be more of this type of person, and I can see a return on what I'm asking for. And though both of them give you a return, the Bible is very clear about that. We're not deceived. Okay,
No.
one is forever. When He give it to you, there is no struggle, there is no strife, there is no repentance. Okay, and He does not withhold any good thing from you. You understand? When you get it the other way, okay, it is
Oh,
temporary,
that come with
and
all
you
kind
have
of
to
stuff
keep going
with them
to the
crystals.
shoppers and the credit to keep getting it. But the Bible said that He gives it to you continuous, TH, meaning ING, meaning ongoing. Know your word, exegesis text. That's what it says. So I think that
Hmm.
that's why people venture over to the universe, because they don't want to wait. They can't suffer long enough.
Mm.
They can't suffer a while through their own mess in order to receive
Yeah.
what's on the other side. So they cross over. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's layered. I think it's
No, thank you,
layered.
Chef.
And I say layered because um, I think social media, and not just social media, but the reality of what the world and what it is now. You touched on it like it's a microwave. It started with kind of being a microwave or popcorn generation, um, where we want everything quickly, everything at immediately, quickly at our
Mm-hmm.
disposal. To we have access.
Mm,
Access is not always a good thing.
no.
Sometimes it can be bad when there's no boundaries, and so we have a lot of access, and that access a lot of times doesn't come with responsibility and understanding and being able to fully process that which you have access to, because you can get knowledge and have that, but it's how do I use that knowledge? How do I place morality with that knowledge that I have or the access that I have. And now we live in a almost lawless state where a lot of things that were
Yeah.
taboo before
It's
and a lot of
very
things that
allowed now.
would have been shunned before are now accepted.
Right.
Everything, you know, everybody wants a voice and wants to be heard and wants to be able to express themselves and to be. And granted, with some things I definitely understand. With others, I'm just like, at what point do we continue to draw the line? At what point? Because the line keeps moving further and
Mm.
further back to where a
Mhm.
lot of things it's not about is it right as far as you having a right, but also you have to ask yourself, is this more morally okay?
Mm.
Because we have to realize that a lot of things that we want to do just because I have a right to do it erodes away at us morally. And so we keep eroding and eroding to what do we like I question what do we become? What happens? And so my whole stance on that is we've shifted and chipped away at church and at Christianity and at different things to where I questioned what it is because it became, and I don't want to go into a whole thing, but a lot of things became about the business side of ministry and offerings and all of these different things, and not really about going back to my original message, not really about love and not really about the foundation. And so you have a lot of people who are looking for a light, but they're so blinded by the distractions of all of
Mm.
the other things that they glean to what's easier. Because I can easily go into a shop and buy a crystal versus I have to go in and go through all of the
And
monotony
go through
of
my
a
prayer
usher that
closet.
may not be, yeah, the prayer closet, the whatever it may be, whether or not it's a church that requires you to dress up or a church that requires you to give or all of these different things.
Dress down.
It's
Dress
just
down.
easy. Yeah, and then also even with that there has to be balance because there's still a respect level that I feel like has to be there, you know, for the church. But you know, like it's just so many distractions to where people are just gravitating to what's easier to get. It's easier for me to hold on to a crystal and believe that this crystal changes my mood and my behavior and shifts and allows things to be attracted to me than me to think that a man got hung on a cross and died for me and was able to save me.
My Lord. Well,
It's just, I'm sorry.
That's
that's so
good.
good. And on the
That's
topic of
good.
love,
That's good.
let's dive into it. Okay, because as he said, and I do believe that too, Chef, love is not preached enough in church. Um, not like it should. And we don't always display love like we should. And so while we're there, my question is love lost? Is love lost? Um, there's so much fear in this world,
Mm,
and so much fear is ingrained in us through news, through media, through acts of people. There's you hear more of violence on the
Mhm.
news than you hear more of the good things that's happening. And so, where is the love? Where is it?
I
Uh,
think we have to. Oh,
no, no, no. Go ahead.
I think we have to be conscious to display it despite
Mm,
whatever it is that's going on. We have to make a conscious decision to display love. I use an example. I was at a drive-through at a popular coffee shop that I go to often, and the girl they were getting. I won't lie. I pulled up there a little late, and they was getting ready to close. And when I asked her something, she was like, "We don't have." I'm like, "Y'all a coffee shop? like how y'all don't
Get
have
your burger.
coffee?"
What you mean you ain't got no burger?
Right.
Right. And I'm just, and then so she got really testy and feisty
Okay.
and just kind of like came at me and I was like, whoa. Like and I said it in a nice way. I was like, y'all a coffee shop, like, you know, it was like in a joking way, like, y'all don't have espresso? Like, what's going on? And like she just went off on me. And I was just kind of like sitting there and in my head, the other side of me wanted to snap and go off too. But I
Oh,
took a
Mr.
deep breath
Jeff.
and I looked and
Mr. Jeff, the Lord is
I
with you.
said, I said, "Are you okay?"
He was displaying love.
And she looked at me. She said, "Huh?" I said, "Are you okay?" I said, I said, "I'm gonna ask you this." I said, "Do you think what you just showed me and the way that you talked to me is a representation of the company you work for, and also a representation of who
Oh,
you
and
are?"
he
Ooh.
was being diplomatic.
Ooh.
And she
What you
looked at me
say?
and she burst into tears. I said, "I don't think that's who you are. I think you
Mm.
may have had a rough day. And I'm just the person that you just unloaded on." And I said, which is lucky because somebody else may handle this differently. But I'm just going to tell you, I really hope whatever you're going through works out. And she just started boohoo crying and she said, "I have had a rough day. I am so sorry. This happened, this customer went off on me. I was trying to do this and then this happened." And she said, "And I don't want to do this." She was like, "I don't want to act like this." She was like, "I am a nice person. It's just that you get so many rude customers that it just hardens you
It does.
and makes you hard and makes you this." And she was like, "And I didn't even think about how much I've changed from who I was when I first started here and how happy I was that I've allowed people to change me." And I think that's the thing that we have to constantly, when we're showing love, that love is oftentimes going to start to turn a mirror to make people look at themselves and make it see like, is my response correct? And it won't be everybody, but there'll be some people. That's why we have to make sure that we're not turning it off because of what our experience is. Because if everybody turns it off, there won't be any love flowing.
Right.
We have to continue to keep that love flowing, keep smiling, keep, even when people don't deserve it, even when people are rude. Like, you have to love, because at the end of the day, I have to answer for me. I can't answer for you. Your response is your response. My
That's right.
response has to be true to who the character that I want to display and who I want to be.
Right.
Oh, that's so good. Chantel,
Mm.
it's love lost. It's love lost, honey. Because see, Pastor on here preaching. And
Yeah.
honey, I got to know.
So, well, first we have to define what love is.
Mm.
Okay. Uh, first,
Ooh, that's
first we
good.
have to first we have to define what it is in its totality, and like the definition of it,
And the
uh,
spiritual definition.
and the spiritual definition of it, what it looks like, what it feels like, right?
Mm.
Because and I only say that because if my interpretation of love is one thing and your interpretation of love is something else, I can
Mm,
say no, love is not lost,
Oh,
because
because
the way that I see it
God.
and the way that I
mm,
interpret it, love is not lost, right?
Mm.
I think the problem is everybody has a different definition of
Of
love.
love.
mm,
And so with that said, do you think that we love enough to want to understand that other person's definition of love?
If we love them enough, yes. So let me answer the question. Love is not lost, okay? To those that desire
Mm.
to show love, be love, understand
mm,
love, right? It is not lost. But to the distorted images of love, it is lost.
Yeah. Because people, and I say that is because this is me, to be committed is a form of love when
mm-hmm,
you are committed to something. Um, most people that are committed to something, they love it. You're committed to cooking, chef,
Yes.
because you love it. It's a part of who you are, and you're committed to the process to get to whatever level God has for you in cooking. Nowadays, people do not desire commitment. They don't even desire marriage.
mm,
And because of that, I do not believe that love is lost, but I do believe that love is watered down. I do believe that love is downplayed to almost something that is impossible. No one loves anybody. Everybody's for themselves. So you have these cliche
mm-hmm,
sayings
Mm-hmm.
that people say,
mm-hmm,
and they are now believing that. And what's sad is, um, they don't give grace or room for error in people for people to disappoint them. You understand?
Mm,
Understanding that you too are flawed. You too make mistakes. But
yep.
we're so busy on being the victim, never realizing that we have been the villain. And because of that, we downplay, we water down love. And so there is not enough opportunity shelf for us to show it, to turn, so we can turn the mirror on
Turn
the
the
other
tide. Yeah.
person. But
Mm-hmm.
you said it has to be intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Love, like people say, you can't help who you love. In instances, you can't, but in many instances, you can.
You can.
That
Yeah.
love it's a verb, it's a noun, it's an adjective,
Hmm.
honey, it's all things.
Yeah.
You have to be intentional. That's my thought.
I
And
like it.
so,
Definitely agree.
for
Hmm.
those of you that's on it, if you agree, put some fire in the chat, honey,
Drop some,
because these topics are good.
drop
Now,
some
why
fire
we
in
only
the
talk? We talk about love,
chat.
honey. We came into making love. We're talking about sex. Oh my God, honey, we need to talk about it. Okay, I don't know what kind of pointers I can give y'all. This
Me
ain't the
neither.
season that I'm in.
Me
But
neither.
listen, I do want to talk about it because women, Chef don't laugh. Women particular. Like there's this new song out, and I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed because I'm gonna say I like the song. I like the song. I like bongos, and
I
I'm
don't
gonna tell
even
you
know
why
what
I
that
like
is.
bongos.
Oh, with Cardi B
Cardi B.
I don't know the words, but I know.
I don't know the words, and I'm gonna tell you why I like it. It's the sucker in me. Did you see the video? First of all, Megan good look good. I mean, Megan style. She looked good. She
I
looked
didn't see
good.
the video. I saw them on
Okay.
the awards,
And
whatever
then
award show
number
that was.
two, the fashion. Y'all know I'm a sucker for fashion. I don't even know the lyrics. I don't know, but I can't give you the beat to this song right now. But honey, I can tell you what she had on. The colors, that blue, that red on that beach with that honey, I could name this fashion for you. Cause honey, it was top tier. Okay, but one of the ladies I absolutely love her. I follow her teaching, April Mason.
Hmm.
And she brought up a great point about being feminine and being ladylike. And women, we sell sex. We sell it all day long in our music, especially female rappers.
Yes.
And it's almost like it's just it's normal. You just have sex with people and you move on to have sex with the next person. And it's not even a care in the world. And I guess after I said all that to set up the question is, do you believe that there are attachments or, as people would say,
Soul ties.
soul ties to people when you are sexually involved with them?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Okay.
Absolutely. I would say there are soul ties so much so like down to the behavior of the person.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
even picking up some of their behaviors and dispositions um without even realizing it. So and that's why we are taught, right, that it should only be with your spouse, husband and wife, right? That's why we are taught that, because what we don't realize is the soul ties that we have with partners. We have a soul tie with them, and then whatever soul tie that came with them, no matter how many people it was before us,
That they've been with.
those all come over with them.
I got a question though, because okay, remember that. Remember soul tie.
Mhm.
Remember that question, because I got a question. I want Pastor. Pastor, what do you believe?
Oh
Good stuff.
yeah, oh
He'll be
yeah.
Pastor Shell. I'm gonna put that up. Pastor, let me change your name. Pastor Shell. Um,
Do you
sex.
believe? Okay.
Sex. Do you believe that people about the soul ties as it relates to sex?
I do. I do believe that there's a level of soul ties that come with it, and also there's other things that come along with it. You know, opening yourself up, depending because sex is one of those things where you're very intimate, and it's where it's your
Sometimes.
most vulnerable state. that you can be in. And I think that's for man and female. To a degree, I think men it may be a little bit different, but
Mm-hmm.
definitely for a female is one of your most vulnerable state. And so one of the things that happens with sex, depending on the situation, like what you open yourself up to, even in that moment, and different things, all of those have the ability to be able to affect your appetite and what you crave, what you desire. It's just like you don't know what a steak tastes like until you eat it. And then once you have one, like you want it, and you may have it different ways. Like you have to make sure that when you are, because when you start opening yourself up to a whole bunch of different people, a whole bunch of different things, you find yourself craving different stuff and wanting it and desiring it because you may not have it with that person anymore, and then you find a
Yeah.
different person and you trying to, you know, th- they ain't doing it like this person was doing it, and you
Yeah.
trying to. I'm
That
trying
Yes.
to
may
keep
No,
it
no, no.
happen.
That's
PG,
yes.
but
Yes. 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 Yes.
it's
Yes.
the
Yes. That's
truth.
good.
It's the truth because then it ends up what ends up happening is you find yourself not being able to be satisfied by
Mm.
almost anyone because you've had all of these different experiences.
That's
And
good.
so it's constantly like hit it and quit it because I'm trying to still look for that high and that fix that I had. And you don't realize it, but it just becomes a monopoly trade of different things. And you have to just make sure that you're not opening yourself up to that because now it's just, as you you were saying, with not just social media, but it's everywhere. Sex is everywhere. It's
Definitely.
bongos, OnlyFans.
Mm.
I got
Everywhere.
people I work with that I'm like, wait a minute, you got OnlyFans? Oh,
I'm gonna get
because
me
I
one for
mean,
my
it's just
toes
Get you one
uh,
for your feet.
because
People have
people make
fetishes.
good money.
smashing sandwiches
Yeah.
and tomatoes.
Weird.
I got a classmate that they you know
They out there.
po- they out there with the
Mhm.
toe smashing stuff, but
Jesus.
it's what I'm saying, kind of it's so accessible. Like I like kind of going back to it. A lot of things are not taboo anymore, and it's kind of out there.
Yes.
Whatever your fix is, a desire, you can find it and scratch it and wear it or whatever the case may be. And we just have to be careful. Again, everything isn't for everybody.
Yes.
Once you start exposing yourself to different things, like you have to realize like there's going to be an appetite there. And so I do believe that you do open yourself up for soul ties, and those soul ties can be multiple things. That it can be, desires that you didn't have before after having that experience, to being connected to that person. You find yourself addicted to that person. They may be toxic as I don't know what, but
I used to be toxic.
because of that thing, you like, look, I can deal with that. She slashed my tires and bust my windows, but listen,
Just say
that
because of
thing was
that
stinking,
thing.
you hear me?
Because of that thing.
you
But you
know
crazy.
and
Boy.
I'm just saying, like,
Mhm.
you start to be
You
like,
you
dang, like, what's
you
going on?
you
But it's because
Yes.
you become
Yes. Yes. Yes.
addicted.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
you
Yeah,
take a
I'm
little
sorry.
bit more than what you normally would
That
take.
was good. No, no, no. That was
Uh-huh.
good. That was
That's good. Sex is, I do believe it has soul ties. I also believe the same thing she said. I also believe that you do take on the characteristics of that person to some degree. Um, I do believe that sex is sacred. You understand? Like, I think people be taking the sacredness out of intimacy and sex. You understand? I do believe we've done that. You said something earlier that back in the day, certain things was taboo.
hmm
You understand? Like, you didn't touch that. And now it's like all things are off limits with sex. From pornography down to um, a pervert, like child pornography, like
Yeah.
from down to you touching a child.
Hmm.
It's so prevalent now,
Yep.
and I do believe that it has impacted our youth. How my daughter asked me a lot of questions about things where she just like, well, mom, what is that? What did you see that at? I mean, it's on like, and she has the parent rated TikTok. Not the parent rated, the G rated TikTok. Parent parental
Hmm.
everything on there, and it still gets through to her. So I do believe that the sacredness of what was intended to bring
Yeah.
to comfort men and women has the sacredness of that has been distorted big time.
Agreed.
And it is I can't tell y'all to stop because y'all not gonna stop. But what I can say
Slow
is
down.
slow down,
Slow
be
down.
be more conscious, be take your time. You understand? Pray about it. I don't know if hot showers work for you, a cold shower. Do that. You read a book.
Listen, we used to say, when temptation is great, God will provide a way of escape.
Mm-hmm.
When I say, if you really want to escape, He'll provide it.
He'll provide. He will.
At
And we're
least
not
one.
saying cut it off. What we are saying is just be careful out here in these streets, okay? But we just kind of wanted to hit on that. We'll dive a little bit more into that because I have a lot of questions about it. And the next time when we talk about it, Chef will actually be cooking in the kitchen, okay? So
Okay.
we're gonna be cooking up, and that's gonna be one of the topics.
Ooh.
But I do want to go back. So what was the what I told you to hold on for me too? The question
Oh,
about
Lord.
soul
Soul ties.
Lord, I done forgot the question. See, I have to ask right then.
And you
Y'all,
know that.
I know I
But
have
you
to
know
ask
that.
right then. Lord Jesus. But listen, Chef, thank you so much. We already talked about social media. You had to be
We
on earlier
have.
to hear about social media. But again, all of these topics tie into social media.
They do.
God,
Yeah.
love, sex. And
Mm-hmm.
what I love about social media now is you can curate your social media to what you want.
Yes, you can. Click on enough
Click
stuff
on enough stuff,
and
and that's
everything on your
all
time.
you get. I click on all things Jesus,
And
and that's
children.
all I and
And
children
little children.
and little children giving their parents the business, baby. And I love it. You understand? I love little children that 200 or 300 with smart mouths, finally. They be handing the business to their parents. I absolutely love it. Now, it could be me. I would push that child to the floor. You understand? Push them on the floor. But honey,
Yes.
kids that have personality, kids are the dirtiest things.
Yes,
They
they
are
do.
so innocent. I absolutely love it. And I love quotes, inspirational quotes and
Yes.
things like that. So that's what my social media is like curated to.
Yeah.
So you can fit your social media to whatever you want,
Yes, you
guys. So
can.
just keep that in mind. But we moving on to the last thing before we get out of here and get out of y'all here because I gotta go to a birthday dinner. Y'all
Yes,
pray
you
for me if I
does.
tell y'all about that birthday dinner.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Pray for me. But we got up
We
first.
going faves.
We're gonna let
Pastor Chef
we're
go
gonna let
first.
Pastor Chef go first for his favorite thing. Now we're on to the favorite thing.
BTA
All right,
faves.
Pastor
Let's
Chef.
go. What we got?
All right. I guess my favorite thing would be
Oh, that's nice.
That was the
That's
picture
a
you
nice
sent.
sneakers.
picture.
Oh, Sneak. Oh, you didn't
Thank
send
you.
that. But you didn't send it, but that's a nice picture. Let me go. I'm gonna put you on by yourself so you can talk about sneakers. Hold on.
I like that picture.
Okay.
I'm gonna put you on by yourself.
My
Okay.
my favorite thing is sneakers. I love sneakers. I'm a shoe fanatic. I collect them. All, from designer all the way down to your regular dunks. I collect all of them. I probably I reduced it recently. I probably have like 42 shoes, 42 different sneakers
Oh, that ain't
and
bad.
stuff. No,
And
I
it ain't
had
bad
like
because 42 them sneakers,
Shush. How many? How
42
many?
at
How many shoes you got in your closet right now? Hush. Go ahead, Chef.
I had more than that. I probably had like before I moved, I had like 150.
Uh
I had
huh.
like I had
Uh huh.
150. I had a trunk when I moved from overseas. I had two trunks of just sneakers. One of them disappeared, but
a trunk of sneakers disappeared.
Whoa.
yeah.
Somebody
Um,
took them. Somebody opened them and took
oh,
them
I
with them.
Oh,
know.
yeah,
It,
that's
it
gone.
disappeared somewhere in Greece.
Oh my God.
They they
Well,
they yeah yeah.
I
well,
can't
to
But
wait.
God be the
my heart is
glory.
still
We
hurt.
bless somebody.
So my heart is still.
So, so Chantel.
I had a pair of Louboutins I never got to wear.
Oh,
Oh my
Um,
God.
Jesus!
Oh my
Them
God.
would
Oh
have been
my
on the
God.
plane with me.
In my
I
In
could
my carry-on.
I couldn't.
In my carry-on. So this picture here, I was a senior in high school. I know I still look like a kid, but I was a senior in high school. I was the dance captain in the band.
Tell
Nice.
us who that
So
is.
this is for Robert E. Lee High School, aka Riverside High.
Hey, don't do that. It is Riverside.
So we were talking about it at Sundown Sundays, and I told y'all that I was going to find a picture for you all to see. So I was a senior in high school. I believe I was 17 years old in this picture, and it was photo day. It was band photo day, and I did my own hair. So y'all see my updo. I did my own hair because I did go to the skill center. I went to Westside Skill Center for cosmetology, so I was doing my own hair at that time. So yeah, this is this is my
Yes,
picture.
sir. That's what come down to the eye. Come down to the right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
So
the updo had to be higher than
it
the
was
crown.
it had to be higher than the
Because you had to see it.
ground.
With your spikes up there. You got
You see
spikes.
him? You see my little band too nice back there with my little spikes coming out. So I had to find this picture for y'all so y'all could see it. So that's what this is. My senior year in high school.
I got to find that basketball picture now so I can show you. I'm going to show y'all one of my favorite pictures when I was in third grade. I picked my outfit out for picture day. My mama thought she was going to dress me, honey. I had to show her. You don't. I do
You
this.
don't
I
run that.
came out the room dressing, honey. I came out the room dressing. But I'm going to show y'all later. All right. Y'all, this right here. I'm going to see right here. My Lord today.
Those are good.
I got a bag right
I
here.
had the other ones. It was a
Listen
different
to me.
kind.
I had these last weekend for the first time at Take Flight, okay, at
Oh
the
Lord, she
Heritage
done found them damn
event.
person.
She gave it to us. It was a board, like you were actually flying on a plane. That was the theme,
Hmm.
right? The theme was Take Flight, okay, but you were actually flying on a plane, like that's how the setup was, and your they gave you snacks, honey, okay, and this was the snack. Let me tell you something. Baby, I was
She talked about them
paid
pretzels for a week.
these persons here. I had been trying to find them, and Lord, I done found them. I found them. I forgot my own bag. If you have not tried these pretzels, y'all are missing out. These pretzels are absolutely amazing. So I don't, endorsing and all this stuff. I don't know nothing about that. All I'm trying to tell y'all is these pretzels right here, they good, and it's 190 calories. Listen to me.
Oh, that's good.
Get you some. You will absolutely enjoy them. Now, I'm gonna bring the chef back on because I gotta say thank you. Hold on, chef. Hold on, chef. Let me bring the chef. There you go.
All right, so we have come to the part of the show where we want to thank you, Chef Johnson, for saying yes to the call, to the clarion call. You know, since you're a Christian, so saying yes to the clarion call. Okay.
Girl,
We met you at Sundown Sundays, like the first or maybe the second time we had done Sundown Sundays, I want to say it was. And you were really nice. You asked what the red carpet event and podcast was about, and I told you, and you were like, "Put me on. What y'all doing?" So we thank you so. We thank you so much for saying yes when we reached out to you and agreeing to come on today and provide so much insight. You are so wise.
mm-hmm.
You're so wise.
Mm-hmm.
And we thank you for sharing, for being open enough to share. No matter how many people this reaches, they will be blessed. That I know for sure because we were blessed. So thank you, thank you so very much for coming on today and being yourself, right?
Yes, yes, be
Thank you.
yourself. Super wise,
Yeah,
super
super
wise,
wise.
super
Yeah.
wise. Honey, you were preaching. Let me put your name up
So
there.
you gonna
Hold on.
change your
Change your name. For anybody
Y'all
who's
are
trying to
funny.
reach him, when you address him, he is to be addressed
as
as such.
such,
Okay,
Pastor
we're not
Chef.
Pastor Chef.
Pastor Chef, Lord.
That's your name, Pastor Chef. Hold on, let me put
Oh
you up there.
Lord.
And so so we just so grateful. I'm not
She
finished.
changing it. Hold on, y'all. Why she change it?
Pastor Chef.
So you can find him on 3JS underscore catering on Instagram. This is also his phone number listed here, 904-944-3577. You can reach out to him for any events that you are having. If he is available, he will definitely be there. Now, listen, you do have to pay, okay? This is not free because you saw him on the Besties Tell All show.
Now tell me you saw him on Bessie. You know.
Maybe he'll give you a discount. Maybe. Now, we're not speaking for him, but just maybe, okay? But you have to reach out to him to find out. You have to reach out to him to find out. We can vouch for his food. Both times that we have had his food, it has been nothing but excellent, okay? We tore that food up, okay? So know that. And I'm sorry, all 3 times that we had his food, all 3 times that we had his food, it was excellent. So again, thank you so very much, Chef, for joining us
Thank
today,
you.
and providing so much insight, and thought-provoking words. So thank you. To those who watched, are watching, currently watching, we thank you all so very much for tuning in each and every Sunday at 1 p.m. We are a thriving podcast. We also host red carpet events. So thank you in advance to those who have already given to the Besties Tell All, but you can go to Cash App. You can type in $Besties Tell All, and you can provide any amount of seed that you would like to sow into this fertile and good ground. It will be pressed down, shaken together. It will run over. Okay, so give. Okay, God is good. Again, those who are tuning in right now, we thank you so very much. We cannot do what we do without you all, without your support, without you viewing, without you telling your friends, your family about us. You can always catch us on Besties Tell. You can follow us, on Besties Tell All. That is on Facebook, that is Instagram, as well as YouTube, and it's Besties Tell All and the number 8 on what? TikTok. Thank you so very much, everyone. And until next time, we want to pose the question. Pastor Chef, you know the question? Look at his face. Okay. Okay. So I got you. Listen, I got
Okay.
you. So on the count of 3, right, you look into the camera and you point and you say, do you really want a best friend? That's the question that we pose. You ready?
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
So we would like to pose the question. 1, 2, 3. Do you really want a
You
best
really want a
friend?
best friend.
That's right.
Bye.
Bye, y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Stay on, Chef.
Yes, stay on.
Okay.
Let me tell you about my best friend. Stick my knee through thick and thin. No matter what I'm going through, she's always there, 'cause that's what best friends do. Let me tell you about my best friend. I just my crown when it's falling down. She intercedes for me, always loving me. There is no one better than my best friend.